Alarm clock goes off in the morning, get up. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. When the alarm clock goes off in the morning, get up.
Every time you pick that easy path of hitting the snooze button, you're getting weaker. You've got to decide that the next 10 minutes of sleep is not worth sacrificing your dreams and goals. You got to get the hell up and get to work.
Confidence is arrogance under control. That's all confidence is. The only thing I miss about the NBA is being around 15 people all day long who are thoroughly convinced they're the best in the world at what they do. But this is what you should be careful of. Don't you ever cross that line into arrogance. Because arrogant people stop growing, arrogant people stop developing, because arrogant people think they have arrived. Be as confident as you can be without crossing the line into arrogance.
Only those who are willing to go too far can possibly find out how far one can go. I want to see what my life would look like if I stopped counting the cost. I'll work as much as it takes. I'll study as long as it takes. I'll do as many reps as it takes. I'll pay whatever the price is. I'll make any sacrifice that's required because I am dedicated to see what my life will be like if I put my very being into my dream.
The masters make the hardest things in the world look easiest. And in the moments where you push yourself, when no one else is around, those moments have a tendency to lead to success.
There are people who come in your life sometimes to be there for a season. They weren't meant to be there always. Sometimes we find ourselves hooked up with people that we think are there for a lifetime, but they were only supposed to be there for a season. There are people who come in your life like boosters for a rocket. If you ever watch a rocket go into space, the boosters fall off when it reaches a certain altitude. Some people are not equipped to handle the altitudes that you're going to. So don't be afraid when they fall off. They're not bad people. They just couldn't go where you're going.
It's not a lack of resources. It's a lack of what? Resourcefulness. If you're creative enough, if you're playful enough, if you're determined enough, if you're focused enough, you can find a way. If you're giving enough, if you're generous enough, if you're honest enough, if you're courageous enough, you will get people to help you. You will find the way. You will make that thing happen. You get someone to coach you, teach you, loan it to you, let you try it, drive it, experience it. You'll access the resource. Michael Jordan, I remember I interviewed him years ago. And I said, what makes you the best in the world? Is it skill? Is it talent? Is it ability? Is it background? Is it training? He said, I didn't even make the high school basketball team my sophomore year. I was cut. He said, what it is every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could possibly expect. I don't compete with other people. I compete with what I'm capable of. And it's just like that kind of standard is inspiring.
This guy was failing out of high school. He was struggling. He was raised by a single mom in the Midwest, but he promised his mother he would take a test called the SAT. Well, this guy takes it. He's bombing. He's failing out of school. He doesn't expect anything. Well, he gets a 1480 out of 1600. So he's stunned, right? That his mother said, did you cheat? And he said, I swear to God, I tried to cheat, but the way the numbers were and the scantrons and the bubbles, you couldn't cheat. So what he decides is because he realizes he's smart and he's going into his senior year, he says, I'm going to go to class. He graduates, goes to a community college, and becomes this massively successful magazine entrepreneur. 12 years after all this guy's success, he gets a letter in the mail. The year he took the test, he was one of 13 people sent the wrong SAT score. His actual score was a 740 out of 1600. And he said, people think my whole life changed when I got the 1480. But what happened? My whole life changed when I started acting like a 1480. And what does a 1480 do? He goes to class. What I do, not how I feel about my past, is going to determine who I am in the future.
I love me. So the day that you decide to stop loving me, I'm not going to love myself any less. I believe in me. If you stop believing in me, I'm not going to believe in myself any less. If you believe that I'm irrelevant, that no one is checking for me, and that I don't mean anything to the world, because you think or believe that about me, it doesn't mean that I'm going to believe it about myself. Have opinions and feelings about yourself independent of the feedback. Be kind to yourself. You are actually doing the best you can. Don't beat yourself up. Don't drive yourself crazy. You are actually doing the best you can.